I don't know who needs to hear this, but God communicated with me directly. The message was just like, why are you not talking to me? You got a problem with me? Hello, I'm calling you. Why are you not answering? Some of y'all really need to be praying. Sometimes I get real gully with God too. Like, yo, what's good? Like, where's my stuff? I mean, like, you need to be praying incessantly. Hello? Yo, it's your girl Jadine Seiji. Welcome back to my world where we are documenting the process of going from zero to hero to live a life of maximum fulfillment. We're back with another heart to heart. It's crazy because these haven't really been going how I planned for them to go. I had this whole idea that I was going to really start getting deeper into life of maximum fulfillment, talking about purpose, talking about all those things. And that will happen. But for whatever reason, God really got a lot of things to tell me, to tell you. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but some of y'all really need to be praying. And I don't mean like, oh, I woke up and I did my morning prayers, or like I'm going to bed and I'm going to do my morning prayers. I mean, like, you need to be praying incessantly, like to the point where, you know how people usually say grace before they eat or whatever the case might be, or they pray over their food, or they say a word over their food, something, right? You need to literally be praying for everything. Like, take that concept of saying grace and apply it to everything. So even me, and I'm telling you this because that's what God told me I needed to do, especially because you already know the situation with me having been served papers by my building and all that, the whole rent situation. And yesterday I basically just took the whole day to just do nothing. So usually in a situation like that, right, the not normal, but like I guess you could say the typical reaction, the typical human reaction is to be like, oh, I'm freaking out. Let me look for jobs. Let me just, abandon everything that I'm working on that low-key God told me to do. Not even low-key, high-key, been telling me. Anyway, that's usually the response, right? Like, or let me work super, super hard so that I can see money come into my account. That's usually the freak out response. So because I was aware of that, I was like, no. I'm not even gonna go into no crazy mode. I'm literally just gonna chill today, which seems counterintuitive, but it's because I'll be honest, my prayer has been very all over the place. And when I say prayer, we'll get into it because I really do want to talk about ways to make it easier, because I think sometimes there are it's weird. God's literally always available. That's why I was, you know what I'm saying? I was literally just talking to God on the phone before I came to talk to you. And it's God is literally always available. The only person that you could call at any time and they will answer, even if they're on the phone with somebody else. In fact, God be on the phone with multiple people at the same time and still will answer you. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I was saying all that to say, I think that, yeah, sometimes it's weird because sometimes there's this barrier, and I think it's just because I think there's a lot of reasons for it, but I think, when you just feel so bogged down and overwhelmed, it's I don't know, for whatever reason, it just feels that you have this sense that God is inaccessible, right? Because you're under so much, but that's actually the best time to really be no, let me just contact God, because by doing that, you are starting to alleviate a lot of the things that are making you feel so trapped or bogged down or whatever the case might be. So anyway, back to the point. The reason why I'm telling you this is because after I came just to update y'all about what was going on with the rent and stuff, I was sitting there and something kept saying God is doing something, God is doing something, God is doing something, God is doing something. And it was I thought it was just a thought, you know what I mean? I thought it was just a thought, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, God, hurry up and do something for real, because, and then the next day it just came up again. Right. And I was like, okay, so maybe it wasn't just me thinking that, it's actually a message. Right. And then yesterday when I took that time to just be still, just literally, I mean, what did I do? I was watching some trash reality TV. I think it was Perfect Match. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it's just not a good show. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. So I was watching Perfect Match or whatever, and I think I chose that just because I wanted to like watch something that wasn't gonna take too much brain power, right? So that I could really just be a vegetable, like just be there on the couch and be open to like receiving. Even that could be seen as a form of prayer. Because for me, prayer is not like, I've never been a person that like, Father God, like I've never been that person that has that kind, that like, you know, people pray and you be like, wow, that's a gift. Like your prayers sound like something out of a, I've never been that person. I'm such a non-traditional, like, yeah, I literally just be like, God, what's up? Sometimes I get real gully with God too. Like, yo, what's good? Like, where's my stuff? But yeah, like I think sometimes we make it a lot more complicated than we have to. You could literally just be like, I'm going to sit here. It's kind of like, imagine if you're with your best friend and your significant other and you guys aren't necessarily communicating, but you're just in the same space, and that it's like a different form of communication. You're not actually speaking anything. It's not like you're reading each other's minds or anything, but just sharing that space, that energy, that closeness. You feel something. Like if they were to get up and leave, you would notice, right? So it means that something is being shared in that time. God is the same way. You can literally sit in fact, God is always with us, right? So, because God is in us, we are God, God is us, God is outside of it. It's everything. So anyway, God is everywhere. So you can literally just sit somewhere, be chilling, and really just like acknowledge that God is present with you. And that's enough, right? Because at first I was gonna be like, yeah, you need to be saying this, you need to be saying that. And then I thought about it, I'm like, actually, I got the message that I need to be praying more when I was just being, when I was just sitting there half watching this whack show and just like waiting, you know what I mean? And I didn't even realize it. I'm realizing it now as I'm telling you this, that I was really sitting there like in the presence of God. So, but imagine had I been even more intentional, like, hey God, we're gonna watch this whack TV show together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that intention just heightens the level of connection. And here's why it's really important to be praying incessantly. Tons of reasons why: protection, blah, 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 all the things that people normally tell you about prayer. But more specifically, what happened in that space of time yesterday for me was that God communicated with me directly. When I was trying to figure out, oh my God, what am I gonna do, right? I knew the thing to not do was to try to bury myself in work, try to scramble to see if I could get a quick job or this or that, right? So that was good, but I wanted like I literally was just like, Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And the message was just like, why are you not talking to me? You got a problem with me? We got beef? Like, why are you not? Hello, I'm calling you. Why are you not talking? Why are you not answering? So yeah, I think for those of you who are in similar situation to me, even if it's not the same exact situation, but in terms of like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and this is really scary, like in this natural experience, in this natural existence, that's because what we really need to be doing is praying like crazy. Like I'm talking about, you know, after this, I'm gonna pray like, well, thank you God for like giving me the courage to keep doing this. I'm going to the gym right after this. Also, shout out to Jilly Hicks. They sent me this top. I don't know if you can see. Maybe we'll do a try on haul with it. It's really just one thing that I really liked, one piece that I really liked that they sent me, and these plain black pants. Anyway, maybe I'll post it on my Instagram. You can see it in the story if you're interested. You might not even care. I just think the color is fire. And actually, the top is actually really cute. We will do a little something for it. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to the gym right after this because I haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks, and that is not like me at all. But we needed to really take the pause, and I'm glad I did because look what came out of it. Now I know exactly what I need to be doing all the time. But yeah, on the way to the gym, I'm gonna be praying. That actually, in the past when I've done that, that's been like the most powerful prayer, like moment for prayer. I don't know why, but for some reason, like I remember one time I actually tested this, praying every day. The problem be consistency, but I think, like I said, we're gonna talk about ways that you can be consistent. And so anyway, I tested it for one day, and I I don't know, my day was just like, it was crazy. Like I just felt so in sync. Like I knew what I was doing at every moment. I wasn't overwhelmed, because a lot of times I'm always like when I'm working on things, I'm like, oh my God, am I gonna finish in time? Oh, I feel like I'm gonna run out of time, blah, 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 whatever. I have none of those feelings. Like I had been wanting to hear from somebody and they came and visited me. I was like, whoa, like it was just, yeah, it was really cool. So I'm like, wow, imagine if I had actually kept that up from like the months past when I tested this one day. So yeah, I know that it works. But most importantly, the reason why you really want to be praying all the time is because it's easier for you to be flooded with information from God, Spirit, the Most High, all that is, whatever you identify with, because I know not everybody identifies with how I identify, but we're all aware of the same thing, right? Like there's something greater than us. And it's important to be in communication with that, because like I said, it's really important to make sure that you don't get too caught up in worldly logic and worldly ways of doing things. Like, yes, we have to exist in the world, but I think that sometimes what makes that existence more difficult is because we're not relying on or tapping into everything that we have available to us, right? Like, it's not just what we see and the rules and the laws and, you know, whatever government entities. We have something that's even greater than all of that, that could make this experience a lot smoother, and just add more meaning to it, right? So anyway, if you're looking for answers, you need to be praying all the time. If you're trying to figure out a way out, you need to be praying all the time, because that line of communication is then open, which allows you to receive messages the way you receive them, tons of different ways. One of the main ways is your intuition. You'll feel in your gut, and then it triggers a thought, you know what I'm saying? Like your brain basically will interpret that feeling that you have and give you something to work off of, whereby you can then say, this is what's being said to me, right? It could be like, I keep talking about that lady in the courtyard, but that lady in the courtyard, someone said she's a human angel. I say, yes, you are correct. She was a human angel. Like that lady in the courtyard, it could be through your friend. It could be through a parent. It could be in a song. You know what I'm saying? It could be in that whack TV show. I should have given that TV show more credit, because maybe it was something in there that was important, but I really don't think so. It could be in a movie. It could be anything. It could be on a billboard. It could be on social media. You scroll by something and it just hits you. Like it resonates. Also, I need to make this disclaimer, because someone came on here the other day and was saying some crazy stuff to me. If it doesn't resonate, it's not for you, okay? If it's for you, you'll know. Period. So yeah, in general, not just with me, anybody that you talking to, I don't care if it's your mom, I don't care if it's your husband, wife, whatever, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That's like the best lesson I've ever learned in life. Because I think sometimes we like miss out on the opportunity to really learn something that could be key to whatever it is we're doing or we're working through or trying to figure out. And we like dismiss it because some parts of it didn't pertain to us, which like is insane. So please don't do that. But what you are gonna do is what? Yes, pray all the time. Now, let's talk about a few easy ways that you can do this, because like I said, sometimes, you know, when you feel so overwhelmed, it's hard to be like, okay, God, here's everything that I want to say. So number one, like I said, just be still, right? In whatever way that you can be. I actually think that it would have been better if I was just in meditation. So not consuming anything, just literally sitting there or lying there. That's one way you can do it, especially when you feel like, I just don't even have the words for it. Literally just lay down. Don't go to sleep though. I mean, you could go to sleep because you could get the message in your dream. That's another way that you can get it. But yeah, just being, okay? Just being, literally, and being open to like whatever God has to say to you. Being down to just be in the same space with God. So that's one way. Another way is praying like you know how to pray, right? Like speaking out loud, or just in your head, right? We have conversations in our head all the time. You could have this conversation in your head with God. That's the cool thing about God, is that like, you don't have to always say things out loud. So for people that struggle with communication, prayer is like you'll be the best communicator. And the other thing too that I really want to emphasize, remember I was saying how like some people just pray like they have this like extra, it's a skill, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can literally just talk to God the same way I'm talking to you right now in this video. Like, it doesn't have to be nothing crazy. You don't have to dress it up. You don't have to use certain words. You don't have to do any of that. You literally can just be like, look, I don't even know where to begin. This is how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Or this is what happened today. You know what I'm saying? Like the same story I told you about the woman in the, shout out to homegirl. I wish I had taken her name. The woman in the courtyard, I could have told God like, yo, look what happened. Like, thank you for that, or whatever the case might be. Or if you have a funny story, like you might just have a funny story and you want to share it with someone and you're like, dang, I ain't got nobody to talk to. Tell God the thing, right? The point is, it doesn't actually matter, because all we're trying to do is open that line of communication, right? If you speak to someone, right, they will respond. So just by you speaking, talking about whatever it is, or in your head or whatever it is, just by you communicating, right? You then open up the way for something to come back to you. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I really don't want to make this too long. I'm really hoping that I can be under 15 minutes. That is a goal. Also, shout out to all the new people that are here. Thank you for being here with the fam. I've been waiting for you for so long, literally years, because I was supposed to do this a long time ago. But we're here now, so it's lit. All right, that's it. I think, oh, one last thing. It is March 23rd. That means there are 8 days left in March. And you already know the goal is to be monetized in March. So if this resonated with you, if there's someone that you've been trying to convince to, you know, start talking to God, start meditating, whatever it is, like just being open to communicating with all that is, share it with them. Please subscribe, like, drop a comment. Tell me about your experience, because that's really why we're doing this, so that we could just be here with it and know that we're not by ourselves. And yeah, that's it. So we're making some progress. We're not at 1,000 yet in terms of subscribers, in terms of family members, but it's okay. We're gonna get there. Listen, I'm still believing for a miracle. I'm gonna ask God exactly what we need to do to get there. Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym now. Bye, I love you.